In this video, I'm going to create an Explorer and a Challenge tile set. I'll start with the Explorer. So I'm going to need two items to complete this process. One is the set of designers that are downloaded in zip file format, as well as a basic shapes document. I've got the PDF version here, just so that I can figure out the names of the various basic shapes. That can be downloaded from the documents page of the website associated with Bliss tactile symbols. So let's see here. Let me launch the Bliss Tiles and Puzzles designer. And what I see is a slab of plastic. I'm looking to create an Explorer that is 2 rows by 3 columns. So let's see if I have a template or a preset that is 2 rows by 3 columns. So there's a 2 row by 3 column Explorer. Let's choose that. And all I see here are numbers. I'm going to replace the numbers with these shapes. But the thing to note is that what goes in position 1 is this down arrow. And position 1 is controlled by what appears right here in tile piece 1 info. So let me bring up the document that tells me what the names are of these various files. And I can see that arrow dash down is the name of the basic shape for a down arrow. And there's also an arrow just like this that's called down in the core concepts, but it's also available to me in the basic shapes folder. So I'm just going to use the name of it here instead. But that's going to go in tile piece number 1 info instead of a 1 there in the core concept. I deleted that, and now I'm going to insert arrow down here, and the down arrow appears. Just to show you, I could have used the down core concept as well. They're exactly the same, but this way I can just refer to the basic shapes document and probably get what I need here. Some things just aren't available as core concepts. Next, we're going to insert this arrow, which looks a lot like the go arrow, but let's see if it's in the basic shape set as well. Yes, there's one called arrow right. Copy that and go to the second tile piece. Delete the core concept. And as a basic shape, insert arrow right. On to number 3, this shape. That is an opposite indicator. So I'll select it. Go to space number 3. Get rid of the core concept. And paste in opposite indicator. And hit the enter key. I see an error. And the error is because there's a carriage return between the word opposite and indicator, and we need a space there instead. Let's see if I can fix that. Unfortunately, you can't tell that just by looking at it in the text box. Put a space in instead, and cross our fingers, there it is. Okay, time to move on. Then we have this big X. What is that? Right down here. X full with a dash in between. Now we're into slot 4. delete, enter, paste, enter. So it's just this process of going through and replacing what's in the template with the actual shapes you want to use. Big circle is circle large. Delete, enter, paste, enter. And this large square is square full. Delete, enter, basic shape 6, square full, paste, enter. Okay, so we're actually done with this. We've recreated this shape. Can render it just as we would anytime in the designer, and then save it as an STL file and print it. If we want to make it look just like this, we'd load black filament first and then swap out to white filament as it began to print these shapes. So we're done with this one. Oh, almost done with it. What I want to do is I want to create a new entry for this, just so I keep my original template for use in doing something else. So I put the name in, I say add a preset, put the name in here and save it. I'm going to shortcut this process because I don't really need to save it. I already have this design saved elsewhere. All right, so now we want to create this challenge tile set. And what this is it's a challenge tile set that has fundamentally 1 row and 3 columns. It may look like 2 rows, but you'll see the 2 rows are exactly the same thing. It's just it has some slots for what's in this set of targets up here. So from a template standpoint, it's a challenge tile set that has targets. It's 1 row and 3 columns. So let's see if we can find that. So we have 1 row, 3 columns with no targets and 1 row, 3 columns with targets. So this is the one we want to use as our template. And yes, we're going to not worry about saving this previous design. So it already looks a lot like our challenge tile set. We just need to get the protection symbol into slot 1, the man symbol into slot 2, and the father symbol into slot 3. The process is going to look a lot like what we just did a moment ago. We'll go back to our document and let's find the protection symbol. Where is it? It's here. It's called protection. And we're going to put it in slot 1. Get rid of what's in there now. And put in protection. You saw that the slot also disappeared at the same time. There was nothing up here to show. So I believe next was the man symbol. And we have it right here. It's called man. Probably could have typed that myself, other than just copying and pasting it. Delete, enter, MAN, return. And last we have father. Let's look at our set of basic shapes. There's no father here. Well, that's okay. I know that's one of the core concepts. So we'll don't have to do anything special other than go to slot number 3 and type father. There he is. I can render and print this right now, and I'll get this part up here. To get the individual tiles, I need to say that I'm printing a tile. I'll render and save as an STL piece number 1. Then I'll select piece 2, render, and save as an STL this piece. Finally, select piece number 3, and I'll render and save it as an STL. Then I'll print those 3 STL files. So now we've used the tile and Explorer designer to create an Explorer and a challenge tile set.